to America Right Now. I'm Tom Basile. Dating apps have been all the rage for years now, and it's not just millennials and Gen Zers who are swiping left or right trying to find a match. Seniors are looking for love online as well, but sadly, all too often find themselves victims of online romance scams, or what they call catfishing. In fact, according to the Federal Trade Commission, nearly $500 million was lost to romance scams in 2022. That's up 9 times from the previous 5 years. And get this, the average individual loss for older adults is about $9,000. So how do you protect yourself if you or someone you know may be on these apps? In our Aging in American segment this week, some tips on how to avoid online romance scams. We're welcoming in Sherri Snelling. She's a gerontologist and author of the upcoming book, Me Time Monday. Welcome, Sherri. It's good to see you again. Like some me time Monday myself. All right, so $9,000 is the average, but there are some who've lost their entire life savings, up to millions of dollars. According to a report by the U.S. Surgeon General, there is a loneliness epidemic, Sherri, in this country that impacts about 1 of every 2 adults. So people who are particularly aging without a partner are very vulnerable to this. You've sent us some tips on things to look out for while dating online. Talk to us about them.
Yeah, I think, 1/3 of all of these romance scams are happening to somebody over the age of 50, and the dating apps like Our Time or Senior Match or eHarmony are great places to meet somebody, but it's also, hunting ground for these scammers. Mm-hmm. So one of the things that we know is that they often are preying on our loneliness, and the second thing that happens is we call it love bombing. The romance moves very, very quickly, and it goes from 0 to 60, very fast, and they start to connect with you on, I've never had a connection like this before, you're somebody I've always wanted to meet, and then it moves into, I have a financial emergency, and often these scammers are asking for prepaid gift cards, so that's something to look out for, or some kind of, investment scams, usually around cryptocurrency. They've made a lot of money and they want to help you.
Yeah, but the alarm bell is when they don't want to really meet in person. They want to kind of try to keep it virtual. There are ways that you suggest avoid being caught in the scams altogether. Talk to us about those.
Yeah, well, as you said, video chat is the way that usually they'll drop you when you want to do a video chat because they can't keep the scam going. The other thing to look out for is they very often want to move you into an app called Telegram. A lot of scammers use this because it's something inconvenient where they can get other information from you, and it kicks you out of the dating app where you do have some protections. And I think the other thing we need to be aware of is they try to isolate you and again, make you feel like nobody will understand how we met and how we fell in love. So you have to listen to your gut and also listen to the people around you that care for you, whether that's adult children or friends or neighbors who may have an instinct about this, maybe not being quite right. And one of the things I want to just caution people is we want to move you from what we call URL to IRL relationships. So we can start virtually or digitally, but we want to do in real life relationships. That's really what we're looking for.
All right. Now, finally, should someone or someone you love be the victim of one of these scams, what steps do you take to get out of it?
Yes, well, first of all, we don't want to feel that we've been defrauded, but it happens to all of us. And so what you want to do is you want to shut down the relationship immediately. You want to contact your bank and credit cards and give them a heads up. And then you want to also file a complaint with the FTC, their fraud complaint line, which I think we have on the screen right there. We also know that when you lose your money, you get very depressed, even if it's, life savings or a home, but also when you have this loss of love, you can get very depressed. And we've seen even some of these seniors contemplate suicide. If you're feeling depressed, reach out to the National Suicide Helpline 988 because they are there to help you.
Yeah, look, it's $500 million in 2022. It's absolutely extraordinary how much of this is going on. Sherri Snelling, thank you so much for giving us those tips. We really appreciate it.
Great.
Still to come, Europe gave the world